Hello. Good evening, guys. How has been your day? My name is Topsy, and I'm here in Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. So. Let me get my charger. Oh my God. How have you guys been? Hope you all are doing great. So, who is joining us? Oh my God. Hello, my name is Topsy, and I'm here in Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. Hello, Sir Matthew. Thank you for joining. Hello, Sir Austin. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Please, as you come in, help me share the video and invite your friends. My name is Topsy, and I'm here in Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. So, let's continue from where we stopped yesterday. For those of you who were here with us yesterday, we had a good time. Hello, my Grace. Thank you for joining. God bless you. My name is Topsy, and I'm here in Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. Please, as you come in, tell me where you are watching from. Tell me where you are watching from. Okay. We started this topic yesterday. Hello, Precious Timothy. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Please, as you come in, just help me share the video and invite your friends. We started this topic yesterday, and it was such an awesome time. It was such a beautiful time together because we all had to share our minds together. And I told you guys about my little story. It was little, but though it was it was terrible. It was crazy. It was a crazy life experience growing up as a child. For those of you who missed my life experience on Facebook, there was a time I came on Facebook. That was a few months ago. I talked about my life experience, and it was such a blessing to a lot of people out there. So if you missed it, maybe you can, if you can't see it on my wall, because I post a lot of things on my wall, you can check my YouTube channel, Topsy, and you will see all that to watch. So guys, let's share the news. Let's invite our friends. Let's share the video and invite people to come and hear another beautiful topic we have today. Again, this is a part 2 of what we started yesterday. So guys, share. Let me borrow my last word. share guys, and let's continue, because I believe today is going to be another beautiful day, another great experience, another great day that we'll all learn from. We'll all be grateful that we share our minds together. I started yesterday by telling us how important it is for our fathers to understand the girl child. What I basically talked about with my life experience yesterday was on the girl child. Today I will be continuing on the girl child, but I will I will go to into talking about the male child. The effect of not having a real father, the father figure. I'm not talking about just having a man a man representative in the home who is just one who pays the bills and then fed for the children. There's more to that I talked about yesterday. If you missed that of yesterday's video, I beg you to go watch, because there are a lot of points we gave us yesterday that can help you to be an excellent father and raise an excellent children and make a beautiful home. Hello, Sir Paul. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Please share the video and invite your friends. And tell me where you are watching from. I will be glad to know. My name is Topsy, and I'm here in Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. So tell me where you are watching us from today. So some of the points I gave yesterday, talking about a girl child who grew up, or who is perhaps growing up without the father figure, without the true father figure, to put her through a lot of things. Some of them, we talked about two categories of girls yesterday. We talked about two categories of girls yesterday. We talked about the aggressive girls and the passive girls, the ones who are not that aggressive. The aggressive girls, I told you guys what they eventually, long for, what they eventually desire for, what they eventually run after, what they eventually, pursue, because there was no affirmation from their fathers. So, what most of them were looking for out there were affirmations, were somebody to really prove to them that they are worthy, that they are beautiful, that they are great, that there's something unique about them. But if the fathers are not there to give it to them, that aspect of their life is lacking. So they tend to go get it from anybody out there who can give them. It doesn't matter if it's a boyfriend or if it's a adult male friend, or that's why most of them you see having sugar daddies and all that. Some of them are not intentional, just because they lack the upbringing of a proper father, and that vacuum inside of their hearts is not filled up. So they look for a father figure to fill up that space. And being a man, what the man always think that the woman wants around when they come around them is that the woman wants sex from them. But that might not be the reason why she might be coming close to you, or she might be excuse me, always coming around you. That might not be the reason that she is always there to listen to what you have to say. It could be that she is longing for a father figure, and she did not get the real father treatment, and the father did not fill up the space that is lacking in her life. So what she intends to do is to fill up that place that is lacking. So what eventually happens is that, so those men, being that they are men, and they are the giving side, so they feel like, oh, this girl is coming to close to me because she likes me, or because she wants sex, or because they get the wrong impression of who the girl is, and what she's all around them for. So by so doing, they start trying to have sex with the girl, or trying to pressure her for what she never intended for. Hello Ma Alexandra, thank you for joining. God bless you. I saw another person, what's his name again? Okay, Chia Penel, thank you for joining. Please share the video as you come in and invite your friends. I believe today somebody will learn something great on how to be an excellent father. How to be an excellent father. Hello Joycey, thank you for coming. We missed you yesterday. How are you doing? So as you come in, tell us where you're watching from, and then please help us share the video and invite your friends. So yesterday, for those of you who are not around, hello Sir Cypriel Isaac, thank you for joining. God bless you. So yesterday we talked about my life story, and how that what I've passed through can really help a lot of people out there. A lot of fathers to become an excellent fathers, and to change the impression that some of them had already created in the heart of their children unknowingly. I told you guys that yesterday that there are a lot of fathers out there who are fathers by by appearance or something, but excuse me, but their children have lost dignity. Their children have lost respect for them as a father. They have lost the place of a father in the heart of their children, and they are thinking that, oh, because I provide food for them, or because I'm there to pay the bills, so I am a true father. Well, don't be too sure that you are a true father. Don't be too sure, because I told you yesterday that while we were growing up as children, we lost the place of fatherhood. We lost the place of father, in our hearts. I could see vividly from the eyes and the mouth of my sisters and brother that there was no father relationship. There was no father. My father wasn't in our hearts. He was totally absent in our hearts, even though he was there physically as a father, physically as a human, living in the same room with us, living in the same house with us, but he wasn't a father in our hearts. So he was thinking to himself that he was a father, but to ourselves and to our hearts, he wasn't a father. So you could see how terrible it could be that some people are thinking that in the hearts of their children they are fathers, but in the hearts of their children they are no fathers anywhere. They are anywhere no fathers. Hello, Angel Daniels. Thank you for joining. My husband, Clemsy Clement. Thank you, sir, for joining. God bless you. Hello, sir. Hope B. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Hello, sir. Callistus. Thank you for joining. God bless you. So you say happy Sunday to you. Hello, happy Sunday to you too, sir. God bless you. Please, as you come in, just share the video and invite your friends. I believe we all learned a lot from yesterday's topic, and I hope we will learn a lot today again. Just as we share minds together, we will learn a lot. Hello, Sir Gabriel Obasi. Thank you for joining. Happy Sunday to you too. How is your beautiful wife? How is she doing? Thank you for joining. Please help me click the share button and just share on your timeline or share publicly, and we'll be ready to go. So yesterday, like I said, my father lost the place of a fatherhood in our heart. Say she's fine. Okay, thank God for that. My regards to her. So my father was thinking he was a father to us. He was thinking in his head that he was a father, but in our heart he wasn't a father. He wasn't a father because there were so many things we were expecting. Children were expecting from their father. This mindset or these things children expect from their father is not something calculative. It's not something they come to read from books, or they come people teach them. They just grow. It's nature. It's natural. They just have the feeling. It's not like God told them, It's not like there was a revelation. God said to them, this, you do this, you have to expect this from your father. Or we were pretty kids, but our father lost the place of fatherhood, the place of fathership, the place of father in our hearts. But he was thinking he was a father. So to his greatest amazement, he wouldn't know that he already lost the place of father. But he didn't know why he lost the place of that, that relationship or that true love from his kids. He didn't know why he lost it. I shared excuse me, some of the reasons why he lost that place of father relationship, father friendship, or love from our hearts. I told you guys that when I was in Nigeria, my father used to be a rich dude. He used to be a very, 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 very rich man, and we had a lot of people working with us when we were in the northern part of Nigeria. We had a lot of people around us working with us, living in a big house, having fleet of cars, and having fun. And my father loves to party. My father loves to have fun. So we're always having, every day was a party day in my house, and that's how my father lives his life on a daily basis. Okay, but what happened is that as much as we had everything to eat and everything to drink, what happened? We barely see our father. We barely see our father. What happened is that he comes, let's say we slept together in the same house. In the morning, we go to school, and maybe when we come back from school, everybody eats. You hear music and people around drinking, eating, and having fun. And after a few minutes or after a few hours of that, my father is off, he's gone, and we all just assume that he goes to work. But we don't get to see my father sometime in a week, sometime 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and like that. And he wasn't really bothered. He wasn't really bothered. Like there's this uh, there's this need. There's this need that we have. We need him to be, to be a friend. So he wasn't there. So he was thinking that, okay, he had given us money. He has paid the bills. He has provided food, and there's clothing. There are people around. So he thinks that, oh, just because he has done all this, so he is free to go out and catch life and have fun. Hello Mafumi Jeboda, thank you for joining. God bless you. Please share the video and invite your friends. So my father was thinking that, oh, I don't think these children will have needs again. I've already provided their needs, all of that. And that's why he always disappears and appears. So there was this vacuum that was, little drops of water, according to, quotes. There's a mix, an ocean. So my father was dropping that little anger in our hearts, because it's like he impregnates my mother and disappears. So he really never cares how this woman is doing. So he feels like, oh, because there is too much money and too many people around, so that's all she needs. That's all the children need. That's all. Wow, like seriously? So when it's pretty close to the time my mother will give birth, he shows up and take her to the hospital. She gives birth, and he just hangs around a few times and is off. And it wasn't like we didn't physically see another wife or another children out there, but he was always busy. I don't know if he was chasing money, because he had too much money. Hello Esire, thank you for joining. God bless you. Hello Dako, thank you for joining. God bless you. Please help me share the video and invite your friends. So this was how it was happening, and we were feeling pains. So we had needs that was not a physical needs that my father could not provide for us, because I don't know if he doesn't have the understanding, or he knew and still did not pay attention to it, or did not see it as important. Before, there was a time I talked about the emotional needs of a child, you get. So that video is on my YouTube, Topsy, you can check it out. So these were the things that my father was constantly doing at that time when we had all the money. And after some few years, the Sharia blah 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 started in the northern part of Nigeria, precisely in Katsina State. And everything he ever worked for, everything he ever owned, perished and was destroyed in a twinkle of an eye. All the cars, all the money, all the houses were all destroyed, and we barely escaped with our lives. And when we got to the city of Abuja, the capital of Nigeria, we started life all over again. And now here comes the true father, the true nature of our own father. What happened? My father now refused to do anything. Like yesterday I said, we started life all over again, because we started living, in a bamboo house, not with blocks, not built with blocks, because we lost everything. In fact, it was a few northerners who risked their life to save us, and mogul us, or there was a way they just make sure that they hid us inside the bags of onions, and then that was how they made it look like they were carrying just a trailer of onions. And that was how we saw ourselves in the city of Abuja, and those guys helped us to escape that hot crisis then. And that was how our life was spared. So when we came to the city of Abuja, knowing nobody, having no money, having no connection, having no relative around there, it was just like coming to an environment where you've not been before, and knowing nobody, and it's not like you're alone. If you are a single person, you can easily pay, but having children, it was kind of difficult. So what we did is we just started walking around trying to look for place to rest our head. Eventually we got to a friend of ours who were in Katsina State, who were in the same church together. We went to their place and slept for a period of 3 days, and we can't stay in their house forever, of course. That one is not possible, so we had to leave from there to go get a bamboo house that is not block. We started living in that kind of house that is not a lot of pain and all that. But you know what my father did? My father refused to work. He refused to go look for a work. He refused to do anything. He was just sleeping at home and enjoying himself. So it was my mother who took up the place of a man and started feeding for her children, and started looking for a way to make sure that we don't start dying one after the other. We get food to eat. So we went into farming. And from the resources, from the little fund we got from farming, we started buying oranges, pineapple, and blah blah blah, just to go hawk on the streets to make some money, so we can pay NEPA bills, so we can put food on the table. But in all the struggle, my father was not ready to make a move to even help out in to even make life easier or better for his own family. So I was wondering, so apart from just this need, when he had the money, he was not even really there. He was just making sure that food doesn't lack in the house, there is roof over our head, he pays the bills. And I said to you guys yesterday, that is not absolutely what a father should be doing for his children. That's anybody can do that. Anybody can walk up to a family and pay bills for them, and fed them, and give them clothing. So what is the difference from a biological father? What is the difference between a father and anybody out there who can do the same thing? So I was expecting something even much more, even when I don't know what I was really expecting, because there were emotional needs I had as a kid. But my father wasn't there to, really talk to me, to really affirm to me if I was beautiful enough, if I was, unique in my way, if I was a great child, if there's something about me that is different from every other child or every other children out there, if I'm intelligent. Because I told you guys yesterday, it got to a point where in the city of Abuja, when we started, the government free education, because of the tax, the multi-tax, in our brains, we had to go hawk. After hawking, you go to school, you come back from school, you pick the tray, and you go hawk on the street again. So the depression and the stress was too much for for us to bear. So sometimes you don't get good grades in some courses, and instead of my father to build us, instead of him to motivate us, instead of him to talk some greatness into us, make us feel like personalities, make us feel that everything is going to be okay, and that we are unique in our own way, we are great, trying to put in put us right when we are wrong. Rather, what my father will be doing is that he will be rather insulting us, calling us words, putting words in our head that does not relate to who we are. So my father will be insulting us, how that you got this grade, how that you got this grade. But the emotional pressure was too much on the children. Hello, Ma Jane, John, thank you for joining. God bless you. Hello, Sir Cipra, thank you for coming back. God bless you. Please help me share the video and invite your friends. So I said yesterday that a father is one who knows and who is ready to be a father. A father is one who is ready to help the emotional needs of a child. A father is one who brings assurance to his children, who brings love, who brings care, who provides for the family, who protects the family, who proves to the children and his wife that they are unique, that they are great, that their personalities, that God put them here for a purpose, that there is a reason why they are here, who tries to raise a giant from them, who push the inner abilities that they didn't think that they had, who tries to, out of their passions and out of their zeal and out of the love of the things the children wants to do, and you see them always attempting to do, who strive so hard to bring them, to bring that greatness out of those children, not one who pulls them down. So my father was busy pulling us down. When we get things right, he pulls us down, even when he wasn't even ready to make any move to better, the state, the state at which we all saw ourselves. Nobody planned for circumstances. Nobody planned to, from becoming a rich man to becoming almost the poorest in the whole world. So it wasn't like everybody was emotionally prepared for it or materially prepared for it, or one way or the other. We all saw ourselves in the mess. But what do we have to do as a family? We were supposed to put our heads together and our hands together to better and to build our home. But what was my father doing? My father was rather pulling the strength of my mother, because my mother now assumed the place of a man, and she was working day and night. Oh my God. Oh my God. This woman was always working day and night, putting her legs in mud just so we can make ends meet, just so we can have food on the table. It got to a point that she started having arthritis because of this stress. Hello Fabia, thank you for joining. Hello Macules, thank you for joining. How is your son and the family? Please, as you come in, just help me share the video and invite your friends. So what we never cost for ourselves, we met it. And instead of our father to help us to, bring out something joyous, grateful, gracious, something great inside of us, for God's sake, we're not adults. We were just kids. We were just kids. So instead of my father to try to put heads together and let's build our home that has already fallen, my father relaxed and said to us that he was never ready to do anything. So what happened is that when we wanted to start, primary school, because we left Katsina State for a long time, and the duration, when we came to the city of Abuja, for us to start, school, it took a long time. It took years. So we all started primary school back again because we've forgotten a lot of things we were taught in school, the school where we left in Katsina State. So that thing alone, my father wasn't ready to make anything better. So my father said to us, if you want to go to school, you should be the one to train yourselves. And I'm like, what? I have never heard people say that to their children. I mean children, not teenagers, not adults. These are children. And you boldly, with so much boldness and authority, you look into the eyes of your children, telling them that if they want to go to school, they should be the one to train themselves. I was so hurt. I lost words, but what can we do? My mother one day called us and said to us that my father had lived his life, and so his decision cannot make us less of who God has made us to be, and cannot even make us, I know he might, if he perhaps reasons as a reasonable father, might help us make life easier and faster. But since he has assumed the place of a frustrated father, let's forget him and then see life in a beautiful way and started working. That was how we were introduced to hardship and hard work at a tender age. Mindset, physically, emotionally, and everything. So all of us started working hard just to help our mother pay the bills and put food in the table. So like I said, my father wasn't ready. Okay, you are not working and you are not ready to work, and you are not ready to provide anything that has to do with finance or anything. Okay, just to at least show some love to your children is to show the physical support. If you don't have money, I think you have mouth. Your mouth can be an instrument that can make your children see that life has not come to, remain like this, that it's going to be better, and try to tell them that, they are great, that they are unique, that they are beautiful, that they are awesome, that they are smart, that, these words are something that gears the children to even their emotions. Like I talked about building the child's mentality, because some of the children start feeling timid when they feel like, nobody is telling me this, nobody is telling me if I'm beautiful, if I'm great, if I'm strong, if I'm if I'm unique, if I'm loving, if I'm all that. It will derail, it will reduce the emotional mental of a child, that the child will not be able to stand some individuals or stand other children when they are talking. Because I remember several times when I was in school, when I was in primary school, I had answers to questions, but because of fear, because there was no belief system that was built in me, there was no assurance, there was no confidence that was built in me, in my family, so it was lacking. So I was always in fear. I was always not ready to be the first to say the word, even though I know the answer perfectly. I cannot boldly open my mouth to say it, because I'm afraid of being condemned. I'm afraid of being shouted on, or laughed at, make mockery of. If people make mockery of me, it's going to remind me of the pain I'm already into. So I try to, as much as I can, to just pretend like I don't know anything. So it got to a time that sometimes our teacher have to punish everybody for not knowing the answer, and I know the answer that can save the whole class, but fear cannot allow me to say this thing boldly. That's how that was how bad it was. Okay, let's read what Ma Ngozi is saying. She said, fathers are meant to be the head of the home and should bring the best out of their children by speaking grace and greatness into their children, and also teach them the way to greatness. Awesome, that is awesome there, but that we never saw in my home. That was really lacking. Hello Ma Mariam, thank you for joining. Hello Ma Adalov, God bless you, thank you for joining. Please share the video and invite your friends. So yesterday, some of the things I talked about yesterday, that when this when these children do not get this affirmation, you know what? They go out to look for that affirmation. Somehow they just want to be sure that they are not off humans. They are not regarded as people who are not worthy to be among human circle. Hello Eminike Floxy, thank you for coming. God bless you. Please help me share the video and invite your friends. So yesterday we looked at the active children and the passive children who grew up without their fathers. Girls' child who grew up without their fathers, or without the true father, because I grew up with a father, like a man who is to himself as a father, but I never had the father attitude, the father relationship, or for a father to assume his responsibilities as a father, not just in provision of material things, but in the emotions and the affirmations and protection, in love, and a lot of things that will help to build the mental ability of the child. I told you guys about a man called Chris Emafidon. I think he's on Facebook. Chris Emafidon. That man, his children are already doing wonders. You know why? Because, and they are from Nigeria, but the family is under the care of Queen Elizabeth II, I think. So, but that was how much the father has built into the children, that one of the girls, she's already into technology and she's doing great work in technology today. So what am I talking about? So if you build your child, if you are a father, extra father who takes his time to build the emotions, the affirmation of greatness, who takes time to build the giants and the personality in the child, that child will bring glory to God and to humanity at large, and you will be proud being a father of such a daughter or such a son. So I talked about the purpose of a father yesterday, that fathers are purpose driven, that fathers are purpose driven people. So the reason why they are purpose driven is because the first God that the children are meeting on earth is the father and the mother. So the God that they are first physically seeing is the father and the mother, before they will come to realize that there's a greater God who created the whole universe, and then try to have relationship with that superior God. But the first God that the children are seeing on earth is their parents. So if their parents fail them, if their father failed them, it's as if God has failed them. So God entrusted these children into your hands so you can show them that that you are made in the image of God, and you can portray that image of God, because what God has made all humans to be is to bring solution to every problem on earth, to make, by so doing you are worshiping him, by so doing you are glorifying him. He is beating his chest to say, oh, that is my son, oh, that is my daughter, she's doing great work in technology, this one in agriculture, this one in education. So God is exceptionally happy. He is awesomely grateful for making you in his image and putting those ideas and passion and zeal into you, because every work that you are putting out there for the purpose of humanity is the drive that he had put in you already. So as he's seeing you actualizing it, he is being glorified, he is being happy. So God is expecting that that the fathers are the God that their children are seeing, so they will help to motivate the children, help to build the children, help to make the children giants and personalities here on earth, that through their passion, zeal, purpose, that they can glorify God and bring solution to problems of humanity. So fathers are purpose driven. Those are one of the things we talked about yesterday. And fathers are the ones who build their girl child to be heroes, their girl child to be heroes. So they don't get to start looking for affirmation elsewhere, or start looking for a man to make them look like they are beautiful, or to assure them that they are unique, or they are special, or they are because, or they are great and all that. So they don't need those things from other men out there, because their own father had already built that personality in them. So if that thing is lacking, the girl child will go out there to look for a guy. That's why when they don't know that they are pretty, when guys tell them they are pretty, they always fall prey, because it's like something they've not been used to. So they want to be sure that they are pretty. So and guys always seeing ladies coming close to them, we always feel that this girl wants to have sex with me, and that might not be the truth. That might not be true. She might just be looking for affirmation. She might just be looking for somebody to tell her what she looks like, what she has been longing to hear from other people. Yeah, is she qualified? She's looking for qualification. She's looking for somebody's appraiser. That's why some of them fall into the hands of the wrong friends, and they lure them into evil and some bad things out there, and their life being destroyed. So I think our fathers have a great role to play in the lives of every children, especially the girl child, So attitude of those children who grow up, those girls who grow up without their male, without their true father, coming into their life and doing the real work as a father, is that some of them are passive and some of them are aggressive. And the ones who are aggressive, like we said yesterday, become drunkards, wayward, becomes lousy, becomes stubborn. Such girls, when eventually that father dies or die and the mother is not being able to take care of them, the girl joins some bad gangs and they become armed robbers or prostitutes, or people doing what they never intended for their lives, or they never were created for. Hello Isaac, thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Hello Mega, thank you for joining. Hello Ezekiel, thank you for joining. God bless you. Please help me share the video and invite your friends. So we were talking about growing up as a girl child, growing up without a father. So some of the attitude you will see from those children, you might not blame them. It might be what have affected them as children. So some of the consequences of these children growing up without the true father figure is that they become violent, they become aggressive. So there is this curiosity to affirm their identity. There is this curiosity to claim their identity. Let me read what Kules is saying here. She said the importance of the role of dad in the home can't be overemphasized. That is true. But a lot of fathers have missed it because they thought that, if I provide for the needs of the child, maybe by making sure I buy her chocolates, I buy her clothing, I pay her school fees, I put a roof under her head, that is all. Well, it might not be all. You might be getting it all wrong. There are a lot more you have to try to learn as a father. That's why I said yesterday, don't stop reading, don't stop making researches. If you want to be an excellent father, don't stop reading. If you want to be an excellent mother, don't stop reading. It will help you to have a wider view and a wider knowledge on how to build up your child to be an excellent child. So don't stop reading. It's very, very important. So like I was saying, so the consequences is that some of these children become curious to clear their identity, to want to be sure that they are beautiful, to want to be sure that they are okay, because like I said yesterday, there was this girl who is my friend here in Ukraine. she has big breasts and she has big boots, but she was not comfortable because she felt that having big breasts and big boots doesn't make her beautiful, doesn't make her nice, doesn't make her look okay. So she always asks me, Gift, do you think I'm okay? Do you think my breasts are okay? Do you think my boots are okay? She keeps looking for affirmation. She keeps looking for somebody to tell her that she is okay, So I keep telling her, you are okay, you get, but because the father never get to tell her that your shape or your size does not determine your beauty or your greatness or your importance, it doesn't have any effect. You are made in the image of God. You are unique, you're beautiful, you are great, you're awesome, you are wise, you are smart, you are a great child, you are a personality, you are a giant. I see generations benefiting from your birth. I see generations benefiting from your passions. If she makes mistake, come on, try to get her up. If she gets a low grade in class, try to speak her to wake up. If not, what her teacher told her in class will affect her mental ability, will affect her a lot. If you as a father don't do the real work of a father, she might be getting it all wrong. She might be depressed and feeling sad that she did not do well in a particular course. So it's like she is not a brilliant child or she is not a good child. Hello Ezekiel, thank you for joining. Oh, okay. Hello Wilson, thank you for joining. Hello Nelly, thank you for joining. God bless you. Okay, so she is not struggling with the um, with the identity problem, with acceptance problem. Excuse me. So that is part of the girl child. But for the boy child, which I said we might be touching today, what the boys go through when they don't have the real fathers who understands their place as a father, who really knows what they are supposed to do for their male children. The same thing sometimes also happen to these boys is that some of them become aggressive, some of them become passive, because some of them have low self-esteem because they don't see themselves worthy to stand in front of other children. And for those of them who are aggressive and lousy, what comes up is that they look for appraisal, they look for men's appraisal, they do everything, they are always there to do a lot of things to make people appraise them, make people to say, oh, great one out there. So that is what is happening. So some of these children feel that, okay, I need to do a lot of things. I need to try to do a lot of things so people can know that I'm smart. People can know that I'm a good child. People can know that I am I'm good to go. I can do everything. So those kind of boys, before you know it, begin to mingle with the wrong people. They teach them how to smoke because they want to prove to almost everybody that come around them that they can do anything. They want to prove to almost everybody around them that they are worthy, that they are great, that they are awesome, that they have the ability to do the same thing that other children who have excellent fathers have. So if those if fathers don't start teaching their male child that they are already smart, that they are already great, that they are already unique, that they are already awesome, that God put them in this world for a purpose. Wow. You might be raising a generation of armed robbers, a generation of wrong children, because that is why wherever they find themselves, some of them become head of cults. There's this aggressiveness, there's this anger, there's this hunger to always lead the people. So that's why when it comes to wrong things, they want to be leaders. And if such people find themselves in political arena or political parties, they always want to do everything possible to rule and reign. So if it involves shedding blood, they don't care, because they are looking for people's appraisal. And why is it that when armed robbers kill people, and sometimes when they kill like great people out there, they are even happy that, oh, I am the one who killed this person, I am the one, so I'm this so person. So they are looking for popularity, they want people to know them. That is why they are doing what they are doing. So it's not like they are really bad, but that curiosity of trying to figure out or trying to clear their identity then gets them into what they were never created for. They were never here to do. Hello Mutwale, thank you for joining. God bless you. Please share the video and invite your friends. So the guys who are passive, they are kind of depressed, they have low self-esteem, and those kind of guys masturbate a lot. They masturbate a lot because they really try to shy away from people. you see them, you think, oh, they are innocent, they are born again. So in order for them to get joy, to feel fulfilled, to feel joy, to feel like to feel just a bit okay, they just go into their shell, and they just, the only thing they can do is just to masturbate. So such kind of boys, go into that kind of art, not because they really want to go into such art, but because of the absence of a true father. The absence of a true father had caused in their inner mind, has caused in their lives. Hello, Sir Mo, thank you for joining, God bless you. Ma Mariam is saying, very important message, Sister, more grace. Thank you so much, Ma. So let's begin to save our innocent children out there. So as much as you want to be a real father, a good father, to provide for the physical need of your child, do not make the mistake of thinking that if you buy them clothing, or you take them to church, or you take them to movies to go watch movies, or you take them to playgrounds, or you put a roof over their head, that is just enough for the child. No, no, no. There is more to raising an excellent children than just that. So you have to keep reading, you have to keep learning, you have to keep building up yourself. I told you guys yesterday that the day you woke up and found yourself being a man, you should say to yourself, I have come to work. So any day you wake up on this earth and you find out that you are a man, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do to learn who a woman is, who a girl is, who a mother is, who a son is, all their puberties, when they changes, all the changes that happen to them as children. You have to start learning who a father is. So I tell parents, please start buying marriage books for your children at teenage age. Let them start reading about relationship, about marriage, about children, about adulthood, about teenagehood, so those informations they are piling up in their head, in their hearts, will help them a lot. You don't know how much impact you're making in the life of your child. You would not know how much impact you're making in the life of your child. That it's not enough. It is not enough to just be a father figure just there in the house, and giving authority and ordering people around, and assuming the role of a father by just doing the provision thing. You say, I pay this house 1.5 million every year, so I am a father. you might be paying 5 million every year and be losing your true children, the ones that God has given to you and God has entrusted into your hands to make them personalities here on earth. So you might lose your family just with a wrong mentality, or not knowing, or not really knowing the role you are supposed to play as a father. So some of these children who are passive become quiet. They become quiet. They have low self-esteem. That's why some of them turn out to be melancholy. Some of them are phlegmatics. Those ones who are aggressive, they are either choleric or they are hyper sanguine. But it's not something they really want for themselves, but they just find themselves in it, and they start living with it for the rest of their lives. So I remember several times we were always my elder sister is so aggressive. She's such an aggressive person that when she tells you, don't you dare, just remove your hand, don't even go there. So you see, so the absence of a real father in our lives made some of us aggressive, made some of us went passive, and we went into our shell. But we were harboring hatred for my father, and we were having so much pain and wishing that we never met him as a father, wishing that there was no connection. I told you guys yesterday, it got to a point where we were always looking for a way to remove his name from our documents, because to us he was nothing to be told about as a father. Because even the normal, the ordinary role that every other father who doesn't really understand what a fatherhood is all about, they still play, like paying the bills and all that. My father didn't do either of that. He didn't do either of that. He was rather sitting in the house and having to sleep from morning to night, from year to year, and putting my mother under the pressure, and on us under the pressure of paying all the bills and providing food for him to eat. It was really painful. It got to a point I asked my mother, why do you still give this man food to eat? And she said, because she has the love of Christ. She has God. She has Christ as her father, and that is why, and her husband. That's why she keeps still sharing and showing him love. Because an ordinary woman who really does not have relationship with God will go as far as killing the husband, or committing suicide, or committing murder, just so that she can eliminate the person, and so the person does not exist again in her life. But you see, that woman was still, my mother was still showing this man love, in as much as he was not ready to be a father to his children and to his own wife even. So it was really, really, really bad. So these boys who are not really having the father figure will not be having confidence. They will not be having confidence in themselves. So in order to show that they have confidence, is that they become so aggressive. They become violent. They always want to portray that nobody can beat them. Nobody can beat them. Hello Marvelous, thank you for joining. Hello Clemens, thank you for joining. God bless you. So that is what happens to these people. Please, as you come in, just help me share the video and invite your friends. Hello Malisi, Bunobi, thank you for joining. God bless you. So these boys will be looking for appraiser. They'll be looking for somebody to notice them, that they are around. Because they're already having identity problem. They're already having low self-esteem. They don't have confidence, so they look for a way to get their appraisal and get confident. And that is how they involve into a lot of things. So some of these boys, when they get to school, ordinary, as little as secondary school, some of them become even cultists in secondary school. Getting to universities, they become even chief cultists. Because they never planned it for themselves. And you'll be amazed that some rich men's children are even in these cults, are also cultists. You'll be wondering, how can your father be rich and you are a cultist? Because people think that, oh, for you to be a cultist, your father has to be poor. Your father is not a middle class man, so that's why you are trying to join the cult guys, so you can threaten those whose father has money, and so that you can do the armed robbery and get money. And you'll be amazed how that rich men children are also in these cults, and in the girls' cults, rich men daughters are also in the cults. You know why? Because all of them has lost a place of identity, because their fathers never affirmed to them that identity that is missing in their heart. So in order to get identity or appraisal of men that they are what they think they are, they have to do a lot of things to try to prove to people that they are worthy, that they have all it takes to be great, to be anybody they want to be. So they are already in depression, right in their heart. There's something missing. But because they really do not understand what is missing, they don't know what they are doing. So you see, rich men daughters are prostitutes. So and as funny as somebody can give you $5 to have sex with you, your father can give you $2,000 to flex around in just 1 month, and you are having a man to have you on bed for just $5, and you'll be wondering, why would you do this kind of thing? And you'll be thinking, why would a girl whose father can give $2,000 to squander in a month is having her back down for a man who will just pay her $5 to sleep with her. That's because identity, that's because the place of identity has not been affirmed in her heart. She really do not know how much she worth to the whole universe. She really does not know how much she's carrying inside of her. She really does not know how much of a personality or how much of a great woman or a great man that he or she is. So in order to get all that, they have to, do a lot of things to make men feel that they are all they think they are. So these boys who grew up without their real without the father, affirmation, with the care, with the love, with the protection and all of it, they become aggressive, they become violent. They grew up with this anger problem. They grew up with this anger problem. And that's why sometimes when they are so angry, they can destroy everything, in the house. They can destroy everything in the house. A few days ago when I was talking about, relationship and marriage, I talked about how that a choleric shouldn't marry a choleric, because you know why? We'll be seeing the roof of your house in your neighbor's compound. Like we'll be seeing all your electronics, your gadgets, we'll be seeing it in your neighbor's compound, because the woman is a choleric and the man is a choleric. That is a deadly place to be. Everybody wants to assume position. Everybody wants to operate in authority. Everybody wants to lead. Everybody wants to be a lord. So such kind of relationships, one person will end up killing another. Now let me tell you a story. There was a post I saw on Facebook. I think that was few days or last week or so. A guy was killed. A student who attends one school in India was killed by his own girlfriend, and they are both Africans. So according to an eyewitness, somebody who knew the girl and who attends the same school with this guys, and the girl said that the girl had once stabbed somebody else in school. Had once stabbed somebody else before she eventually killed her own boyfriend. So I was just amazed. So according to the guy, he said that they've severally warned their friend to stop relating with this girl, because she is hot-tempered, she is aggressive. So but this guy was thinking, oh, I'm a handsome dude, I have money or something, I can always keep her by my side. But you see, he might all be getting all wrong, because such kind of people, you first of all, if you are a quiet person, you first of all work on their identity problem. They already have identity problems, so you try to work on that. You try to work on their personalities before you even go into the relationship with them, else you'll be doing more harm to yourself than good. So that was how eventually this guy was killed by his own girlfriend. The guy was killed by his own girlfriend, not because he wanted to die, not because he saw the death coming, but he didn't know that girl also is, might be having an identity problem, and some of the anger she already carried from her home, she's looking for attention. By so doing, somebody is trying to provoke the anger side of her, or trying to make her feel less of herself, or making her look like she is not who she assumed to be. So by so doing, as much as she wants to go all out to show it out, she eventually killed this young handsome student who was schooling in India. So you see how identity problem can lead to people raising an evil generation, and generation of chaos, generation of regret, generation of bloodshed. People who will not have pity or mercy in other people's, in other people, as humans are like them. So guys, that's what has been really raging. So I'm talking about this because I want all of us to go out there to become great mothers, great fathers. Like I said, the one of beauty yesterday, I said Don't always tell your child that she's, or your daughter that she's beautiful, because she will grow up thinking that life is all about being beautiful. So any day she doesn't wear a good clothes, she looks depressed, feeling that she isn't beautiful. Well, tell her that the beauty is inside of her, is in her attitude, is in her personality, is in the grateful, in her passion, in her zeal, is in creativity, is in all the things that God has put inside of her, that she will use to develop humanity, that she will use to, beautify this earth and become a solution provider to every human being out there. So that is the beauty that is in her. So as she walks with the mentality of a king, of a queen, and of a woman carrying so much for our generation, of a woman of purpose, of woman of greatness, of woman of values. So you make sure you create values into your kids, both male and female. Create important values into them, because that value, when you are not there, that value will keep them for the rest of their life. When they are not being taught values, they would grow up thinking that they'll grow up having the vacuum in their hearts, and they might get wrong values from other places that might not be good for generations to come, and even the one that is already here. So instead of building a home or a generation of armed robbers and prostitutes and evil out there, let's raise a generation of world changers, solution provider, engineers, great technologies, or great philosophers, great great leaders, great people who are in education, great people who are in technology, people who produce things that will help generations to come. If a lot of people who are on earth today who really did not discover passion to creating a lot of the things we use today, this world would have not been a good place for you and I to live. But you and your children have been created to bring solution in some of the problems that are facing some sphere of life that we're already living in. So a lot of us have been created to do this. So if we don't instill these values into our children, we might be raising generations that will do more harm to us than good, So guys, I hope you've been blessed today. I appreciate all your comments, and I appreciate all of you who have shared. I think we'll be coming back tomorrow to continue this. So thank you so much for all of you who have shared and who have commented, who have liked and all that. I am really, really grateful. For those of you who will do even later on, please continue sharing the good news and continue learning on how to become an excellent mother or how to become an excellent father, so that this world can be a better place for all of us. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for your presence. Like I said yesterday, I'm always humbled by your presence. Hello, Sir Sylvester. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Okay, so don't stop sharing. Don't stop sharing. Let's keep sharing this good news and save our generation and save our kids. It is a painful thing today that some fathers do not know their roles as fathers. Okay, so if you miss the video, if you miss from the beginning, I beg you to go just share it. You would watch again. You can watch from the one of yesterday. This is already part 2. Watch the one of yesterday, you can get a better clue of what we're talking about. Then this is a continuation, because I talked about the girls yesterday. I continued about the girls, then I encroached into the boys today. So thank you so much, Chi. Thanks so much for coming. Please share the video and copy the link and share for everyone who you would want to listen to this message again. So my name is Topsy Gibbs, and I'm here in Ivano-Frankivsk, Ukraine. So thank you so much for having me around, and I'm grateful for having you around as well. So do have a wonderful night's rest, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day. and God bless you. So bye bye guys.